rotate your phone. Okay. I can do that. I can go like this now. Oh, wonderful. So I can go like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everybody. No, they don't see you yet, Chris.
You're doing okay.
I'm doing me first.
Oh, you're doing you first.
Then I'll do because I'm introducing you.
Okay. No, I was posing.
It's good. How am I going to introduce you now that we've already... Okay. So hi, everybody. Mel Rosenberg here from the top of London, from the Tate Modern. I am, as you know, the host of the Children's Literature channel of the New Books Network. I got that right. And I have an incredible guest here today. A guest that I have run all over London to search for, and I tracked him down. And this is the wonderful, notorious Chris Haughton. And now everybody can see you.
Okay.
So, Chris, welcome.
Thank you.
A big, giant welcome. And you are one of my heroes. You're one of my favorite children's authors in the world.
Wow, that's very kind.
No, you deserve it. So, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. And we're here to celebrate a new book of yours. Do you have it here?
Oh, yes, exactly. Yeah. So this came out just a few months ago. Well done, Mummy Penguin.
Okay.
And
in hardcover.
In hardcover, and yeah, it's about little penguin family who, Mum goes off to catch some fish and comes back home, and yeah, it's a sort of David Attenborough penguin story.
It's a little
Two-year-olds.
It's a little departure from Oh No George, which might be your most famous book or not. My favorite, but
I think actually a bit Lost, the Owl one is sort of more, well, it sold more copies than Oh No George.
How could that be?
I don't know, yeah.
I love George! Oh no, George!
People love owls. I don't know, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of similar in a way. The it's all kind of family things and animals, and yeah.
Okay, and the other book we have here, which I also love, is the Monkey Business one.
Yeah, maybe. So that was two books. Well, but the one before, Well Done, Mummy Penguin. So that came out.
You're just publishing too many books. That's all.
I don't know if I am. They take 2 years each, so yeah.
No, I'm joking.
No, I have got a few now, but yeah, surprisingly they take 2 years to make, even if they're
You have from the Monkey Business book, which I love, a favorite spread. Before I tell you what mine is, you want to guess?
Well, my favorite. Oh, actually, do you know what my favorite is? This one here, where I love reading this out. So basically, they've come down that they're looking for these mangoes, and they've told themselves that the tigers are not around. It's all safe, but there are tigers around. They're all kind of hiding in the background. And so when I read this, get to this part, all the children are screaming,
Hey, there's a tiger! Be careful!
It's that pantomime.
Hold it longer, because these colors, okay, which connect. Okay, so here we are reconnected now, and it's wonderful. So can you show the purples and the?
Oh yeah.
When I see these colors, it does something in my heart. The Jews say in my kishkas, in my innermost, these purples and blues and reds, and you use them a lot.
Yeah. They're my favorite colors.
Yes, mine too.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe that's why I love your work so much. Great colors. And so now, since we have Oh No George here, so my favorite one is the tigers, when the tigers appear.
Oh.
Okay. Tigers.
Yeah.
And it's your rendition of the tigers that kills me.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah, this is my favorite book out of all of them to read aloud.
Sure.
Because it's it is just this sort of pantomime theatre kind of element, you know, and it never goes wrong.
It's
behind you.
It's so you. You know, well, just inch a little bit. Well, nobody. Yeah, a little bit closer. Then take a mango. That was easy. No tigers down there.
It's children, you know. It's like it's always sort of pushing a little bit further.
So you know my theory. Are you a 5-year-old at heart?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. But probably even younger, maybe.
Oy vey. So take us before we go back to Chris the infant. I need you to show the similar colors from Oh No George.
Oh No George.
The blues and purples, which make me very happy.
The whole book is sort of
Yeah.
purples and oranges. So yeah, this is George and his owner Harris, and then I don't know what my favourite spread. Oh well, this is probably one of my favourites. I hope
I'll be good. George thinks I want to be good.
I'll be very good. I hope I'll be good. George thinks. So it's kind of the same thought process as the monkeys, really.
And that's why I love both of those to be Mel with you.
Yeah.
I'd love to be Frank, but I'm not.
And
Frank.
then, of course,
What will George do?
the cake.
Oh
the cake
no,
appears.
George! Yeah.
And yeah, this was fun, sort of coming up with this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of like a sequence. You know, just being presented with the cake, then having a closer look at the cake, and then we're sort of looking at the, you know, face of George. And then it's a double page.
Yeah. Oh, this is the one I love. Hold it. Everybody can see it. Oh no, George! And it's very cinematographic.
Yeah. Well, there's this is interesting. This book, because I was living with a clown when I made this book.
You were living with a clown?
Yeah, like a professional clown.
Mm-hmm.
And I found it very inspiring, Monica.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a house share, and we were hanging out.
It's okay. There's only thousands of people watching. You know, your own personal life is your business.
And we went up to Edinburgh Fringe Festival together and stuff like that. And I thought, oh, this is so interesting. And then I said to my publisher, my editor at the time, I met this clown, so interesting. And, you know, she was taken to all these like clowning events. And my editor at the time, Lucy, was like the most quiet, just personality. And she said, yes, Chris, actually, I studied clowning too. And I was like, really? Like, you know, I just couldn't imagine Lucy doing clown routines. And then
Clowns are the most unlikely of clowns, you know.
oh, I know, no. And she said, and do you know the chairman of Walker Books worked as a clown for 12 years as well. So this is my publishing house. So suddenly I was surrounded by clowns everywhere. I never knew.
Bring in the clowns.
Yeah. So and then after I finished that book, I actually did a clowning course, just a very brief thing, because I was so interested in it. And one of
Do you want to make a clown face for our listeners?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do. So there's this thing called triangulation with clowns. So what a clown would do if they see something on the stage, you know, they might look at that, and then they'd look at the audience, and they look back at this, and then they might, if there's a sort of another actor, they'd look at them, and look at this, and look at the audience, and somehow this triangulation just, you know, you suddenly start going, what are they going to do with the phone? Are they going to, you know, you can see that their sort of thought process just visually.
You don't have that in the monkeys though. What will the monkeys do?
I did it in this. Well, I kind of do in the monkeys, but I have it in this.
Oh, here it's all through.
Yeah, so it's, you know, he's looking at the cake, looking at the cake, and looking at us. So it's, I mean, I was just doing it kind of intuitively, but it kind of came from being surrounded by clowns.
I think that one of the reasons that you are so successful and world famous is because you have a voice not only as an illustrator but also as an author. And that, I think, is what is most remarkable. When did it start? Take me back to little Chris.
Well,
It's only a few years ago.
how far do you want to go back?
To when you were 3.
When I was 3. Well,
How about your family? Who are you?
yeah.
You're Irish.
So I'm
You're just
Irish.
pretending to be British.
Yeah, I mean, I loved
Drawing as a child.
Where did you grow up, Chris?
in Dublin.
Okay.
And there wasn't that much art in the sort of family.
But my granddad used to love drawing, and he
He'd kind of go off and sit in his car and draw landscape, wherever he was sitting. And so, but I just loved
drawing. I was always had a pen in my hand, and that was very much encouraged. And
In your left hand.
in my left hand, which I literally just
I just fractured.
Oy vey.
well,
About 3 weeks ago now.
Oy vey is something that the Jews say, not Dubliners don't say that, but
Oy vey. No, I've heard that.
yeah, I know that one.
It's supportive. It's supportive. So when you were a kid, they didn't try and change your hand. They said he's left-handed. We'll leave him at that.
Yeah, well, they sort
Sort of said we'll leave them at that. They encourage because
Well, I'm left-handed. We all write like this, right?
yeah,
exactly, yeah.
That's my left hand here in the camera. Here, that's my left hand.
We
Yeah.
we had to buy
buy these like fountain pens, which are almost impossible.
possible to write
Yeah.
with, because you just smudge it
Yeah.
as soon as you know.
You get the nicest smudges, though.
Yeah. So, but
So you were a
I
smudger.
had to.
Do you still write like that?
No. I write normally now.
You write normally with your left hand.
with my
Left hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny because I do everything else except
Except for drawing and writing with my right hand.
Ah,
yeah.
I have a daughter like that. It's incredible.
really?
Yeah. So you're a semi-left-hander.
Yeah.
And what were you like as a kid? Like, do you have angst? Are you writing to your angst?
Not really. I had a very happy childhood, I think, and then I think.
How unfortunate for my theory.
Oh no, sorry. Well, one of the things I think that was very encouraging of my art
In the early days.
was, it's kind of one of the best at drawing in the class, and so I used to, draw things to entertain my friends, and they'd say, "Oh, draw Chris, draw this, and Chris, draw that," and this sort of thing, and I would draw like the teachers, doing stuff. And, it was just this sort of, just making people laugh with the drawings.
Did you study, or
Yeah, I mean, we had art classes in school. I mean, primary school we were always doing a bit of art. In secondary school, we did art classes and got on very well with the teacher there, and we loved doing that. We looked forward to art classes.
so now that you're world famous, who is your go-to Nana Banana person? Who didn't believe in you that you had to prove wrong?
Nana banana.
Nana Banana, you said I wouldn't make it, and look at me now.
No, I don't have any.
You're ruining all my theories, you know?
No, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I don't know if that's very good.
Okay.
No, there was no
No angst. No angst. Happy kid.
No,
Happy-go-lucky kid from Dublin,
yeah.
regaling his classmates.
Yeah, just
Nobody said you wouldn't succeed.
No. I mean, yeah.
You're spoiling a lot of theories, you know?
Well,
But you ended up in London. And
Yeah,
you say you're a Dubliner.
So I
Well, I went to art college in Dublin, and I really enjoyed that, in just meeting lots of other kids who were all, you know, good at art and you know, wasn't that keen on the course that I was doing, but just all the students were just fantastic. And actually towards the end of that, I did an exchange and I went to Leeds, and that was an amazing course as well. And I made friends, you know, from the UK, and a lot of them had moved to London afterwards. And then I did a lot of travelling around. I ended up in Hong Kong for I was teaching English in Hong Kong to young children actually, which I think really also helped being able to communicate to children. And then I was in Hong Kong for a year, but I wanted to do like it. I was doing a few illustration jobs here and there in Hong Kong, but yeah, London looked like the best place to sort of, you know, be an illustrator.
Was that about the time that you decided to be a children's book writer and illustrator?
No, so that was about 20 years ago, and I was you know, in the mid-20s, and I was looking. I'm doing like advertising work. There was sort of pretty decent money in doing illustrations for advertising, and I was illustrating for magazines and newspapers, editorial illustrations. And then when I moved to London, I got very lucky, and I was here for about 6 months, and I was doing a few illustrations here and there. But then I ran out of money. It was very expensive, and I got a job.
That's not being lucky. That's being down and out.
No. So
are you masochistic or something?
So then,
yeah.
I got this job in an animation studio.
Ah.
So yeah, and you know, in the animation studio, like, it was just surrounded by amazing talent. I mean, literally, like three out of the 15 animators had been nominated for an Oscar.
Wow.
It was absolutely astonishing. And everyone was just, you know, very creative and saying, oh, you know, check out this, you know, this is how I make this, and, you know, just here's my favorite picture books, or, you know, sharing everything they knew. And it was just, you know, like most illustrators are kind of in their own little world, and it's, you know, you don't kind of get to see what other people are doing and how other things. But this was just an incredible hothouse sort of thing. So I really consider myself very lucky to be in there. And
Was there a moment when you said, "Oh, this is what I have to do"?
Well,
because you could have gone in many directions.
Yeah, I was doing little animations, and I was doing stuff for. I mean, I was doing quite well as an illustrator. I left the animation studio, and I then went freelance full time as an illustrator. And I was doing. I started making these things with fair trade. I was working with fair trade quite a lot as well. But all of these things, I don't know, I was just always kind of looking at picture books and thinking, oh, I'd love to do something. Because as an illustrator, you're sort of always coming in at the end of a project. You know, something is already written, or, you know, the ad campaign.
So you came in as an author illustrator. You didn't like illustrate a bunch of children's books.
I've never illustrated anyone else's.
Wow.
Yeah,
so you're monogamous. That's very rare in this day and age.
Monogamous with myself.
Yes. That's also rare in this day and age. Chris, I want to warn you that we're on camera.
I know. Yeah, better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
That's incredible. So what did you do? You wrote a project. You sold it.
Well, so this is an interesting thing as well. So I was in this studio. And yeah, it was quite funny. I was every time I went back to Dublin for Christmas, I'd meet up with all my friends, and they're like, "Oh, Chris, what are you up to?" And I'm like, "This year I'm going to write a children's book. kind of got an idea, and I'm like, oh yeah, great. And then the following year would come around, and I'd see them again at Christmas, and then they'd say, oh, how's the children's book? And I was like, oh, yeah, well, I haven't actually.
See, you have been Nana Banana people, you see?
Well, they were very encouraging, but they were kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, where is this book?
So you had
This is like-
Nana Mango people.
This is mango. Yeah.
So this happened for about 5 years in a row, and I thought, I really need to, do this picture book now. And this girl in my studio
Said,
I knew nothing about picture books, but she had dabbled in picture books, and she said, well, there's this picture book fair, children's book fair in
Bologna. So what you
could do is if you booked a flight to go to Bologna, then you'd have a deadline.
and then you'd be in
Egypt, if you didn't have, bring something with you, you'd have to. I was creating my own deadline.
Nobody sells a book in Bologna without
I know.
planning,
I only
setting up meetings.
I know. I only discovered this when I got there. But,
Okay.
but it didn't really matter. I had got sort of the bones.
You got
of-
there. You had the bones
of,
of the.
of my book, which was the whole.
Which book was this?
This was a bit lost.
Ah.
Yeah. And so I arrived there.
I was camping in a campsite next to the
fair,
Mm-hmm.
and it was great
fun.
fun.
There was all illustrators,
Playing guitar in the campsite. It was really cool.
and then I managed to find a publisher.
In a Korean publisher.
At Bologna.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. No.
Gee.
And well, it was kind of
I was walking around all the stands.
Yeah.
And
and
then
I was talking to people, and then I was taking their business cards.
Yeah.
of the
No, because we want to teach aspiring authors how to succeed.
Yeah.
So if you go to Bologna without a plan and without meetings set up, look for the Korean publisher.
Well,
I mean, the Korean publishers are so amazing. That whole section.
Yeah.
It's so inspiring. So.
And they took an interest in your
Yeah.
work.
So well.
what actually happened was I went around, and I mean, there's
Thousands of publishers, but
Yeah.
I chose about 30, 35 that I thought these guys might have an interest in my sort of books, because they were.
You spoke to them cold turkey. You're there with 1,000 other illustrators looking for jobs.
Yeah. Well, so what I did was
You have chutzpah, my friend.
so
What I did was I just took their business cards, because
Yeah.
I realized, queuing up to get a meeting with the art director with 100 people, it just didn't seem. And this frazzle.
So what did you do?
So I just took the business cards,
or noted down.
who the art director or editor was,
Yeah.
and then when I got home,
I
emailed them and sent them a link to
my website, and my website looked pretty good then.
it looked kind of quite professional as an illustrator. So I thought that would be much better. It'd be much better if they saw that
As the sort of first,
sort of introduction, and then
I sent them the
draft thing. And yeah, this Korean publisher got back to me and said, yeah, we would like to do this.
That's how you started.
Yeah.
And the first book came out in Korean?
Came out in Korean. Yeah.
A Bit Lost came out in Korean?
Yeah.
That was your start?
Yeah.
And then Oh No, George?
Yeah. Well,
Then, so for nearly 2 years.
Incredible.
nearly 2 years, my book was only.
Who's going to listen? Nobody's going to believe you now, you see. It's an incredible story.
I know it
Shit.
is.
Hope I said shit on camera, sorry.
And for nearly 2 years, the book was only in Korean. Even my name on the front
Yeah.
was in Korean.
Okay.
But,
How do you say Chris Haughton in Korean?
well, Chris Haughton.
So I went back to Dublin and I showed my friends, hey, look, I did the book, and they're like, you didn't do that.
Yeah. So
had to go back to Bologna.
2 years later to try and get it published in English.
Did you maintain the rights in other languages?
Sort of.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was a sort of a complicated
Okay.
thing, but yeah, sort of, yeah.
And when did you start working with agents? Your current agent, by the way, has been on the show, Debbie Bibo.
yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah,
Hi, Debbie.
yeah, Debbie's fantastic. I got an agent after the second book because there was all sorts of like dramatization.
You got an agent after George?
After the second book, yeah.
After George. 'Cause
Wow.
There was a few things were coming in about like.
So how did you know how to do the contract with Korean people without an agent?
That one I just, well, I'd actually, when I first moved to London, I joined the AOI, the Association of Illustrators, and they said, if you do this weekend course in copyright law,
Yeah.
then you can join for free.
Oh,
But you have to check people's copyright
Okay.
contracts. They didn't really do so much book contracts. It was mainly just for single illustrations. But I had some familiarity with copyright because I've been working with the AOI for years now.
so then you just bumped into Debbie Bibo. All of these things are bumping into people.
Yeah,
Actually,
So here, Chris's best advice is look for Koreans and bump into people in Milano.
yeah. Well, so how I met Debbie was in Korea. I ended up staying with this guy Cho Sung-kyung. He's amazing illustrator and publisher.
We're on television right now, but
Sorry.
do you want to be on television?
No, but I do love your books.
How can you not love his books?
Because I'm an illustrator too.
Are you an illustrator too? So do you want to be? What's your name?
It's fine, don't worry.
So you knew who Chris was?
Yeah.
Ah, you see,
Oh, wow.
I told you you're world famous, man.
Yeah, world famous. Yeah.
Okay,
where was I?
you were about to go to Milano.
No, it's going.
Sung-kyung.
Yeah.
So
Debbie. So me and Sung-kyung got on really well.
I stayed in his house for 5 months, and we just became best friends. And so I met Sung-kyung then in Bologna. So we go to Bologna usually together. We share a house. And he said, "Oh, I'm meeting this publisher, Debbie.
Come on, let's
Go
go.
out for dinner all together." And that was the first time I met Debbie.
She was a publisher or an agent?
She's like, at that point
She published some.
She was a book packager.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, she just we got on really well,
And she fell in love with your work, which is impossible not to.
you're very kind. Yeah.
So one second. We want to move forward because
Okay.
it's
So
gonna,
that-
the
that's
sun is
your-
going to set in 4 hours, and I'm going to miss my plane to SCBWI.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. So I want to talk about Ono George, which is like I love all of your writing, but Ono George is my personal favorite because I'm so connected to this dog and to Harris. What will George do? So this book has been translated into over 30 languages,
Yeah, I think so.
including Hebrew. You can buy it in Israel.
Yes, yeah.
Next time I come, I'll bring you. You have a copy in the Hebrew?
I do. Yeah.
Ah.
That's one of.
So I'm not bringing you the Hebrew one.
Yeah. I love the backwards thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really amazing to see the artwork.
And you've won all kinds of awards, deservedly so.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you.
And animations and
Yeah.
so I guess now what I want to know is what is your advice for aspiring authors, aspiring illustrators? What are Chris's best advices other than get lucky?
Well, I think when I was
Starting out, somebody said to me,
and when I was trying to get
work as an illustrator in editorial and in advertising and stuff. is to imagine yourself in the art director or the editor's shoes,
And like what I would do would be, go into the newsagents, buy some magazines, or flip through the magazines and see which magazines are commissioning what type of illustration, and then contact those art
directors, and
show them a selection of
things that you think would really fit in their magazine, and say, I love the series on.
So you should do the research first,
Do the research.
which you did not do in South Korea, but that's okay. With Bologna, but that's okay. Maybe after you got back, you did.
No, I did. I totally did. Yeah. No,
Okay. After you got the cards and went back home.
Yeah. No, I mean, I spent that
a
whole
week kind of checking out which publishing houses would suit my stuff,
Yeah.
and looking at
Okay.
what books they were publishing, and then what.
You're a real researcher.
Well, I mean, you
You could have been a scientist, man.
I don't think I'd have the.
So let's go back to your new brilliant book with the
yeah.
Mama Penguin.
Mama Penguin.
Okay, which is a departure from maybe if not the style of the art, but it's a bit of a departure from the Oh No George and the Maybe series.
Do you think so? Yeah.
A bit.
Well,
It's a more I love my mummy story.
Yeah. It's there's more. Yeah. There's probably less humor in it.
it's more, sort of family.
Except for the hopping over the seals part. so congratulations. And what are you working on that you can divulge and share?
Yeah. Well, I'm actually working on this non-fiction book at the moment for DK Books.
Okay.
Which it is a real departure
from these picture books, so it's
kind of like
it's for much older children.
But you don't have another children's book in the oven?
I mean, I do.
Everybody's waiting. I'm gonna come back and interview you every time you have a book. I'm gonna.
Okay, all right.
We'll have the scones and.
Well,
Probably the next one will be a big bad wolf.
Oh, okay. Oh no, wolf. So yeah.
So
I've got into sort of bad characters. I don't know what's going on psychologically, but it was the.
Oh, it's a bad wolf. It's not a wolf
Oh,
that loves lambs in the end.
No.
It's not a biblical wolf.
It's a real pantomime baddie.
Oh.
And that is the problem with it. I don't know quite how to finish it without,
some sort of payoff.
Death. Some death at the end. Somebody dies.
Yeah. So I was thinking, is it a wolf or is it a monster? So this is what I think. But
When I was doing this one, or what gave
Can you read a little bit from Maybe?
from it, yeah.
I love it. I don't know. I might end up loving this one as much as Oh No George, which is a lot.
Okay, monkeys, I'm off. Now remember, whatever you do, do
Not
not.
go down to the mango tree.
There are tigers down there.
But I want to catch the monkeys there hanging. We didn't talk about your artwork because I don't understand it at all.
It's a pity we can't go down to the mango tree.
Yeah, it's a pity. Yeah.
Yeah, I love mangoes. That is a pity. Maybe we could just look at the mangoes. That'd be okay, right?
I don't know. Would it?
Any tigers here?
Can we spoil the end? Do a spoiler at the end
yeah.
with the bananas?
Oh yeah. Well, let's
Skip to the end.
I think so.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Not because I want people to buy the book.
Okay.
It's a great book. Maybe by Chris Haughton. Buy the book.
Yeah.
You know what? We won't go to the end. We won't spoil the bananas.
anyway, they go down.
Oh, look at the colors! Look at the colors again.
But then we
See
see
the tiger.
the earring. They don't see the
Tiger.
Yeah.
So then
they go down.
get the little one, just the little one. Oh,
I wish we had another one though.
Yeah.
we got
Down
There's a little
again.
bit of the George thing here also.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
yeah.
No tigers here.
No tigers there. No tigers anywhere.
Look. Oh, the mangoes.
So there they are. So tasty, so delicious.
Chris, we want people to buy it.
Wait, did I hear something?
This is the oy vey moment.
Tigers!
Yeah, my favorite here.
So yeah, you'll have to buy the book to find out what happened.
By the way, I did buy that book yesterday in Waterstones.
You did.
I did.
Yeah.
And no, George. So I would have your autograph, which I have. So a couple of very brief questions. Is there a divide? Are you more famous in the UK than in the US? Is there a different sensibility to picture books?
Yeah, I don't. I haven't.
I see
really-
different facings, you know, when I'm in Britain.
Yeah.
I think I'm more popular in the UK. I'm actually more popular in France than the UK.
Wow.
France and the Netherlands.
They go bananas.
They go, yeah, bananas. And it was quite a shock actually that I went over a few months ago, just before Christmas.
And yeah, the books were everywhere.
It was really.
Yeah, it was amazing. So yeah,
It's very hard to know. I mean, what is it that
it works in
some countries and maybe not so much in others or whatever. But I think
I'll look for your book in New York.
yes,
I will.
See how you get on.
All right.
Yeah.
Important. Hey, we're back.
So, but I think I really love French books. So I'm very proud to be.
And you
in France,
and you should.
They're quite
Visually,
they're more sort of
artsy, I would say. So I'd probably put my books in sort of artsier.
Yeah, which brings me, you've just segued to my last question, Chris. Do you think, is it better to be a writer-illustrator? Like, in my book that's coming out, the illustrator who's fantastic surprised me on almost every double spread.
Yeah.
Do you surprise yourself?
I do, and I
Annoy myself mainly because I write a great.
Do you write first? Do you illustrate first? What happens?
I
always, with these books, I've always sort of thought of a sequence that I think would work. Like, basically, it's usually, imagining one page and then that will be engaging, so with
and then you turn the page and he's eating the cake.
so it's going to be funny, what would George do?
Do
No, you must, because it takes you 2 years to do a book. You must reject a lot of. I've seen actually that you reject a lot of material.
yeah.
That's very difficult, no, to throw at your darlings.
It is, yeah, but
I mean it's only 32 pages, so
you're going to be throwing out an awful lot.
Comes with the territory, you said.
yeah. Well, I think it was very good practice to work in the animation studio.
Ah, okay.
Because what we would do is, I mean, I did
A little
series of animations for them, and
I think one was coming out at 3
minutes 20.
and they said, okay, can you do a 2-minute version?
A 1-minute version and a 30-second version.
And I was, you're like, what? Because, you've spent all this time and
Made it work. It's very difficult to get that thread to sort of tell the beats of the story in this 3-minute 20.
then, shrinking it down. And,
So I worked with an editor and we sort of get rid of this
scene, get rid of that. And it actually worked.
much better in the 1 minute and 30 seconds.
So you're okay with that? That's terrific.
Once you
You can kind of see, like,
And your word count is really low for picture books. Like you don't use the words you don't have to use. You know,
Yeah.
authors who don't illustrate always have this hidden desire to have as much text on the page.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I was recently out with an animator friend, Grant, who created Hey Dougie. You know, the animation series is called Hey Dougie. Really brilliant series.
And he was saying something interesting that so they hire in script
Writers to work on these different. They've done like 200 episodes.
and he said funny thing is professional script writers who have never worked in animation
They tend to be
not good at doing the scripts. What you need to have is someone who's already an animator.
to write the scripts.
Wow.
So, you know, it seems like very wasteful, you know, to have someone has a completely other skill set to be writing. But you know, he was saying just the setups for all of the jokes, you kind of need to have some grasp
Of how animation works, you know, what works well in animation, and you only kind of get that from animating, you know. So there's, I mean, they do use,
and I think animation is a very different case than picture books, but it's sort of
No, but I mean, you've taken when people seek to find your magical voice, they will find it in coming from animation, and then being able to understand the reductive process, and then having the I don't know what the word would be to say, well, you know, if I need 5 words on a page, that's fine, and if I need
yeah.
3 words,
it's even better.
even better. Chris, is there anything I haven't asked you?
No, not.
I'm just gonna show everybody where we are here at Tate Modern, London. If you're jealous of me, you should be.
Very unusually.
It was bitter Canadian cold in the morning, and now it's
Beautifully
warmed up.
Nice day, yeah.
And I've been sitting with a remarkable author, illustrator, and human being, Chris Haughton. And
Do you know what I want to say actually?
no, I forgot that I asked you. I did ask you. What do you want to say in closing?
Well, I've been thinking about it.
Okay.
No. I like picture books. I think are just a really unique,
Amazing sort of.
medium, and like a lot of the different people that I've met making picture books, they've all come at it from very, very different backgrounds. So, you know, in the UK, one of the most popular,
Authors is Julia Donaldson,
and she came at it as a
singer-songwriter. You know, really, completely. I'm a graphic
So
designer.
I have to tell you my famous Julia Donaldson story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we'll do it off camera.
Okay.
But I have a famous Julia Donaldson story. Yeah, go ahead.
And so, in some ways, there's something really like you can be, you know, literature, singer-songwriter, art, graphic design, poet,
Microbiology.
microbiology, and all of it somehow feeds into picture books, and everyone is coming and making these books in their own way.
So
And
come
it's-
from another planet and
I think
use it.
Yeah. No. Like.
That's brilliant.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and so I know we should close, but I forgot to ask you, when you were 4 or 5 years old, what children's books were read to you and by whom?
I used to love the Muppets on TV.
Okay.
The George.
Yeah.
Even the Colors.
So one second, some of the people watching the video missed that your favorite, when you were a kid, you were more drawn to the Muppets.
the Muppets,
And
yeah,
the-
I
and
absolutely
Animal.
loved.
Animal from the Muppets. And Fonzie.
So that, and Fonzie, that kind of explains everything,
Yeah.
in a sense. So Chris Haughton, this has been remarkable. Before I forget, I'm Mel Rosenberg. Remind me what I am, Chris. I'm I'm the host of the Children's Literature channel of the New Books Network. And I'm going to say bye-bye to everybody. Run out, don't walk, run, and buy Chris Haughton's books. They're in 30 different languages. It's incredible. These stories are life-changing. And look what a wonderful, modest guy we have here. Thanks so much, Chris.
Pleasure.
Say goodbye.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
See you around.